So I am here with Battle Cry. Let's see, does Battle Cry have a subtitle? I don't think Battle Cry does. Battle Cry does not have a subtitle, but it is introduction. It's a man-to-man war game. It's related. Came out after Combat, but before Iron Cross. None of that is mentioned. No, none of that's mentioned in the rules. Designed by Mark Spock, who I believe is behind Iron Cross as well, but not Combat. Although I think he had a lot to do. Yeah, the original design is Roger Damon. So the original, I think, lead designer for Combat was Roger Damon. Mark Spock took over lead design for this one, Battle Cry, and I do think Mark Spock, actually it's right in front of me, Mark Spock did pick up, Mark Spock picked up design of Iron Cross later. Alright, so this video is all about Battle Cry, or getting ready to play Battle Cry, and that means essentially this is all about transitioning from Iron Cross to Battle Cry. Now here's the issue. This is kind of in a sense this is significant, but I think I've made my choice, made my mind up as to what I'm going to do. This, by the way, is the my initial setup for the first scenario in Battle Cry. By the way, that's called the first day. The beach, the first day. And basically, these are my Marines over here. They're right behind the sea wall on the beach. And these are the Japanese defenders. They have improved positions. They have a couple of mortars. They have 4 bunkers. That's going to be, these bunkers are going to be pretty, so 1, 2, 3, and then there's a 4th one right off the screen. Those are going to be pretty significant, and I think that's about it what the Japanese have for defense here. So again, the Marines are coming on the beach, fighting their way up here through the Japanese, the IJA defenders. Here's the deal. I'm looking at the rules. Bottom line up front, there are all these little discrepancies. I'm actually going to give 2 examples. And then my question is, are the discrepancies representative of the evolution of the design, so that the Iron Cross rules are again a more complete version of what was intended? Or are the Battle Cry rules a little different in a number of different places in order to represent, I don't know, what the designer wants to show as peculiarities to the Pacific Theater? I hope it's not that. Why? Because I'd like to use just one rule set. That's what it comes down to, as much as possible. Okay, let me tell you, let me see the first thing I noticed is that, and I'm going to talk through this, the camera doesn't move anymore, so that's less ideal, but okay, so I was looking at the grenades, and I was looking at the rules inside Battle Cry, so not the player aid card, but I was looking first in the rules for Battle Cry. Section 15 is grenades, and yeah, this was the first thing I saw. It says, very first sentence, grenades may be thrown only during the support fire phase or the defensive fire phase. Let me see if I missed something. Nope, that's it. Okay, that's it. Now, I thought to myself, you know what, I'm curious. Actually, I think it was purely a guess. I said, you know, I wonder if there's any difference between these rules and how it's portrayed in Iron Cross. So I go to the Iron Cross rules section 15. Oh, look at that. Oh no, they're not all the same, because 16 is assault in Battle Cry, 16 in Iron Cross is flamethrowers, so they're not all the same. But it just so happens 15, Rule Section 15 in Battle Cry is grenades, and Rule Section 15 in Iron Cross is also grenades. But the very first section, very first subparagraph of grenades in Iron Cross is a friendly infantry unit, except flamethrowers, may throw a grenade at an occupied hex in any support fire, defense fire, or moving fire phase. So why is there a difference? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? And then I looked at the results. And so so in the Battlecry rules, they list the target results. Okay, so then I thought, well, although it's important to know when you can throw the grenades, how about the basic outcomes of grenade attacks anyways? Is there any difference there? Looking in the Battlecry rules, it says if the target is in a building, you roll 1/6 die, and these are the results. I'm going to go over those. Then there's if the target is in any other terrain, you roll a 6-sided die, and there's a different spread of results. That makes sense, right? You're going to have different lethality for targets based on whether they are inside a building, which means an enclosed area, which should be more damaging, right? Because it contains the blast. There's more chance to be hit with shrapnel, etc., from the grenade. Then you have, so I compared that with the, in Iron Cross, you have the player aid card that has a grenade combat table. Under building for both. Under Battlecry, if you roll a 6-sided die, 1 or 2 is an eliminated result, okay? 1 or 2. I look at the Iron Cross, and right away it's different. Oh, only a 1 is eliminated. Okay, ooh, that's not the same. So then you go back to Battlecry. A roll of a 3 is a suppressed result. You go back to Iron Cross. No, it's a 2 and a 3 is suppressed. So they changed something here. This is definitely changed. Now, again, if you're an astute wargamer might say, well, the buildings in the Pacific Theater are different than the buildings on the Eastern Front for Iron Cross. Sure. Yeah, I mean that's very possible. Maybe the buildings in Battlecry are flimsy huts versus the buildings in Iron Cross that are stone masonry buildings. So, not sure. But then I go to the player aid card for Battlecry. Okay, so now I'm comparing the table on the player aid card for Battlecry back again to the grenade combat table from Iron Cross, and now I'm looking at it again. A 6 is no, 5 or a 4 is a pinned. 5 or a 4 is a pin. That's the same. 3 and a 2 is suppressed. 2 and a 3 is the same thing as a suppressed. So now the table for the building is now the same, which of course draws my attention to the fact that the player aid card for Battlecry does not match the rules for Battlecry. So the idea, so this is a dead game, right? There's no living rules involved here. So if something was meant to show the peculiarities of buildings in the Pacific Theater, there's no way to resolve what was meant here. No way. Now you go to the non-building result in Battlecry, the player aid card. You eliminate on a 1. You eliminate on a 1 in Iron Cross. That's the same. You suppress on a 2. Oh, look at that. You suppress on a 2 in Iron Cross as well. You pin on a 3 or 4, and you pin on a 3 or 4. So actually, that's the same, by the way. So let me see what in the rules for Battlecry, 1 is eliminated, 2 is suppressed, 3 or 4 is pinned, and 5 or 6, no. Okay, so that actually matches too. So really there's only a discrepancy for building, targets in a building, but in any case, they can't both be true. Now, if all of the grenade table in Battlecry matches all of the table in Iron Cross, I mean, I should go with the fact that that's what was intended and not what was written in the Battlecry rules. That, therefore, should put an end to the idea that, at least when it comes to grenades, that there was anything intended to be different about buildings in the Pacific and on the Eastern Front. Even though actually, I think maybe there should have been, a difference. I don't know. There's that, and then there's also, I'm looking at the scatter rules. The scatter rules in Iron Cross basically can scatter up to 2 hexes. I'm doing a really quick analysis, okay? Maybe later I'll have to figure out. No, it can only scatter 2 hexes. You go to the scatter in Battlecry and it can scatter up to 3 hexes. Again, a discrepancy, a difference.